Welcome to Lesson 3.10 about executive compensation. No one wants to tell you how much money they make, but everyone wants to talk about how much other people make. Executive compensation is full of such paradoxes. No one's compensation comes under as much scrutiny as the chief executive officer's compensation. But the world of media headlines about highly compensated CEOs is primarily a creature of large publicly traded companies. Compensation at smaller privately owned businesses is much more modest. Equity compensation, which we discussed in Chapter 3.9, heavily dominates the private company compensation world. The net worth of founders and CEOs of private companies are more tied to the net worth of their business's value than to the annual compensation numbers. Still, people have to eat. You can't pay your mortgage with stock options. Private company founders and managers need personal cash flow to survive. Of course, in most very early stage businesses, compensation is very simple. No one gets paid. Most founders cut themselves off from cash flow from salary for the first year or two after they start their business. Founders usually live off savings, spouses' salaries, and consulting income. What a simple compensation system. If you posted a want ad for a founder, it might read something like this. Wanted, highly experienced executive with creativity and leadership skills to build a business without resources. Must be willing to work 24/7. No compensation for first 2 years. But that can't last forever. What comes next? That's simple. It's make or break time. Either a business starts generating enough cash flow to compensate founders, or the business goes under, and the founders start looking for day jobs again. Remember, 3 out of 4 new businesses die within the first 5 years. We discussed in Module 1 how to deal with startup problems, so let's not focus on the negatives now. Let's talk about how you structure compensation in the 25% of private companies that survive the bumpy startup period and how they compensate people after they reach the stage when they can afford to pay salaries, bonuses, and benefits on a regular basis.